What's going on? This is Marcus, and you're at the channel The Debt Free Dad, where we're following my debt free journey to knock out some student loans and other stuff that I had and learning about finance. So, if you're interested in this content, definitely subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so you can get updated when I drop new videos. Also, give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever. I don't really care if you like it or dislike it. Let me know. So, in today's video, we're going to talk about the sale of our rental property. The sale is complete. We got everything out the way. We're going to take a look at some of the numbers that were associated with that mortgage on that rental property. And it was, aside from my principal residence, it was the only other property that I had a mortgage on. I talked about in the past some of the other holdings that I have, but we were able to get that sale done. We're going to talk a little bit about the numbers, dive and go into it. And I'm also going to talk about a weird, an investor purchased a property in that area on the same street actually like 3 months ago. And then he turned around and sold it like 2.5, 3 months later. It's interesting. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to dive in. Let's go ahead, go to the table, talk about the sale, and take a look at the numbers. What's going on now that we are at the table? Let's talk a little bit about how the sale of the rental property went. Everything went relatively fast. We put it on the market one day. Literally 3 days later, we had 4 or 5 offers, which included the offer that we eventually accepted. I'll put a link above where I went over those offers. In any event, the language of the offer was for $185,000 or $15,000 over the appraisal value of the home. Now, based on the last time we had the house appraised, about 7-8 months ago when we refinanced it, we were able to look at comps in the area and estimate, get a good guesstimation of where the appraisal value would actually be for the house. So everything went good. The sale went through. We were able to sell the property as is. I'll link a video as to why we sold the property as is. Interestingly enough, the big advantage that came from that sale was an increase in our net worth because we were able to eliminate the mortgage that associated with that property. I do have other properties and land, and that stuff is paid off, so I'm thankful in that regard. But this was the only property I had outside of my primary residence that actually had a mortgage associated with it. So I thought long and hard. Initially, I didn't want to sell it. It was an investment property. We were in the green. The monthly payment was about $600, a little bit less than $600 a month. We got about $1,100 a month from the rental proceeds. But as I talked about in another video, certain things related to that property were giving me headaches. I'll put a link to that video above. It was just a headache. Bottom line, I'm not even going to go into detail. I'll say that for a later date. But the other thing is, it was just a headache. So let's take a look at some of the details of the sale. The whole process went fast. We literally put it on the market one day. 4 days later, we had about 5 offers, which included the offer that we ultimately accepted. Everything got done. We closed on the property in probably about 2.5 to 3 weeks. So we were to close. Everything worked out well. If you look, and I'll put the image on the screen, we had a balance on the principal of $76,403. The interest that was owed was $220. Escrow payment of $392. We were actually able to satisfy the entire balance of the mortgage once we sold the home. So we paid $77,016.37. So that zeroed that out. So that was an immediate benefit to our net worth. That's really kind of how the sales played out. It was, interestingly enough, a few funny things happened. I talked about it in another video, but we used to live there in that property years ago, and so we knew some of the neighbors who stayed on the same street as us. And one of our neighbors had sold her property, which was a 2-bedroom property, 2-bedroom townhouse, not an in-unit like ours. Ours was 3-bedroom, but she sold hers as is, and she got about $150,000 I believe, as her final offer. It was somewhere 150, 155. And so it was interesting because, you know, after the sale had closed out, the realtor reached out and said, "Hey, I think we got a great deal because it was a townhouse on your street that was just listed, same development and everything, and they refurbished and redid everything. They completely upgraded it, and they listed it at 185. So considering that we didn't do anything, we just sold it as is and got 185. That was a it looked like everything worked out with our numbers and estimates and what we assumed, and were able to identify what the value of the property was at face value. Well, the townhouse that was renovated was the house that our former neighbor, our homegirl, just sold. So literally, they sold the house, I want to say 2 or 3 months ago, for $150,000. The person did all these upgrades to the house. Let's say the upgrades cost, let's be modest, $10,000. $10,000 worth of upgrades. So they bought the house for 150, 10,000 to upgrade the house. That's $160,000. And now 3 months later, he's putting it back on the market for $185,000. That just kind of didn't make any sense to me. Now he'll probably get, probably get 195, $200,000 for the house if he's lucky. But again, that's not an in unit that only has 2 bedrooms, so there are some slight differences from our property, which made it a more favorable location and property. But that just doesn't make any sense. I was perplexed. I was telling one of my homeboys, we talked, one of the very few people outside of YouTube who I could talk finances about, we were talking about it. And I was like, I just don't understand why you would invest $160,000 in buying a house and renovating it to sell it 2 months later for $185,000, and you're looking at paying short-term capital gains. So you could be paying anywhere upwards to 40–50% of that is going through taxes. So literally, you're talking about $12,500 to $15,000 profit in 3 months. Like, that's crazy. I actually suspect that person purchased that property with the intent to rent it, but after dealing with the crazy ass HOA, he probably was like, man, fuck this, I'm getting the hell out while it's good. That's, my homeboy said he probably saw your video where you was talking about those HOA people and decided, man, I'm not doing this. But that's kind of how the numbers to how the property sale played out. We were able to, again, because of the appreciation of the property, and this is why I always say that a lot of people talk about, oh, buying houses on investment. The property appreciation, not to mention the rental proceeds that we got since we've been renting it out in 2014, it just really been all a plus. It provided cash flow, and on the sale of the property we had appreciation. I'll actually do a later video where I look at the entire amount that property made us as a rental from 2014 up until 2021, to include all the gross incomes and calculating in all the expenses and everything that we had to pay, just so you can see how the numbers break down. But that's it. I just wanted to give you all the update, just kind of how the numbers to the sale played out. We'll probably do a video, the wifey and I will probably do a video. I don't know if it's going to be Friday or Sunday. It'll probably be Sunday, but we'll probably do a live video where we talk about, okay, we already know that, the mortgage was satisfied, so we eliminated that debt. Now we're going to talk about what we do with the profits from the sale. And it's something that we still kind of mulling over as to how we want to proceed. But we'll let you all know in that live video what we decide to do ultimately, and I hope y'all tune in and check it out. Remember, give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever. Just give it something to feed the algorithm. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all take care. Love y'all. Be blessed. Peace. If you're still tuned in, check out the videos on the screen for more content related to my debt-free journey and some of the lessons I've learned while dealing with these finances over the years.